Alright guys, welcome back to Gilded Gaming and Final Fantasy XIV Stormblood. Let's get into it. When we last left off, we had been you're just kind of chilling here. We've been doing the main story, we've been doing Omega. And let's continue with the main story. We're still at 4.3. 4.3. Here we go. Like I said, we just had we've been dealing with Gosetsu and Tsuyu, and Yotsuyu has remembered and then killed her parents. So we're gonna have to see what happens from that. So my friends, that which we feared has come to pass. Yotsuyu has regained her memory and returned to the Imperial fold. It is, by any measure, a cruel twist, not least for Gosetsu, but one which does not invalidate our agreement. According to the terms of the contract, we were bound to surrender Yotsuyu into Garlean hands should her condition improve prior to the hour of the exchange. By that reckoning... Thanks, Garanova. Did you want to do any dungeons or anything tonight? It is, if not as it should be, then as it must be. This I can accept. Oh, summoner to 70. Grats. What I cannot accept are the unconscionable lengths to which Asahi went to achieve this outcome. Given his recent conduct and apparent admiration for Xenos, it is plain he cannot be trusted. And that is to say nothing for the unexplained containers he insists on bringing to our meetings. Whatever the ambassador is planning, I think it unlikely our negotiations will end peacefully. In the event of hostilities, the safety of the conscripts must be our first concern. As such, I would have an escape route in place before the meeting begins. A wise precaution. If the main structure of Castrum Fluminus is to be the stage for the exchange, I believe a thorough inspection is in order. The citadel has stood empty ever since the Imperial withdrawal. While we took steps to ensure that it could not be defended by an occupying force, it is entirely possible that the ambassadors arranged things there to be to his advantage. I'll slip inside and make certain we have an unobstructed exit. Pray allow me to join you. I have some experience with Imperial facilities, and should matters take a turn for the worse, I would hope to be of the least some use. Very good. That should be enough to guarantee us a way out of the Castrum. Beyond that, however, we will need a ship to ferry the conscripts back to the Enclave. Even with every skiff we have, it would take several trips to evacuate everyone. A Confederate Sekibune, on the other hand, would require only a single run, and leave us far less vulnerable on the water, assuming of course Rasho can be convinced to part with one. Might I take lead on this? I've had dealings with Rasho and his pirates before, and I won't be alone, will I, Elheim? Of course not. Yeah, it's cool, Karanova. I'm probably going to end up in a dungeon or a trial or something before then, I'm guessing, but we'll see what happens. Much appreciated. I quite fancy parlaying with pirates again. It's just a shame Lise won't be there to reprise her role. I'm certain you would make a persuasive pair, but I think I will accompany you to these negotiations all the same. My lord, the ruler of Doma should not be seen consorting with common brigands. Come now, Yugiri. They stood with us against the Empire. If you would ask their aid once more, we must treat them as equals. My presence shall serve to demonstrate our sincerity. Indeed, my lord. Pray forgive my presumption. By your leave, Master Alphino and I shall be about our task. So, Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne HD comes out in 2 days. I knew that, and I had planned for it, but it still kind of slipped up on me, you know? And we should be on our way to Onokoro. Time is short, and Rasho may take some convincing. Okay. I've pretty much decided too that once we get to the end of Final Fantasy XIV, we're definitely going to do the World of Warcraft Lore Master playthrough, kind of like just like this, go through all of the story of World of Warcraft. I think that'll be a lot of fun, whether we get viewers for it or not. I'd still consider doing 11 at some point as well. Although I don't know how long Final Fantasy 11 would take. I saw today that Final Fantasy 11 had like a couple thousand more viewers than Final Fantasy 14, and I was like, what in the world is going on? And then I looked, and literally 99.9% of those viewers were all watching one stream because Ninja had decided to play Final Fantasy 11. It was like the number one stream had 11.7 thousand viewers, and the second stream had like 40. You know? It's like quite the drop. Now, there's a face I did not expect to see. What brings the noble Lord of Doma into the company of billdratch such as we? If you've come to offer Doman chains in place of Garlean ones, then I'm afraid you've wasted a trip. What fine subjects you would make. With your fleet at our disposal, our restoration efforts would be hastened tenfold. But let us speak seriously. I stand before you not to demand your fealty, but to request your aid once more. Mayhap you are confused. Doma's liberation was but a means to an end. We aided you only to save ourselves. Now we have no such incentive. We have sworn no oath to you, and we will not come running like hounds to their master's whistle. And I would not presume to treat you thus. I come to petition for cooperation as an ally of equal standing. Equal standing, you say? Seems a bit lopsided to me. Where's the profit for us in all this? Profit? Must you always think in such short-sighted terms? Have you ever heard of doing the right thing? Have you ever heard of pirates, little miss? You'll find we're simple souls. You pay our tithe and you sail in peace. Deny us our due and we take it by force. We'll pull you out of the water if we see you drowning, but we're not in the business of doing something for nothing. Calm yourself, Mistress Alice. We did not come here to moralize. We came here to talk, and there is more to be said. According to records recovered after the liberation, relatives of your Doman-born brethren were among those conscripted into the Imperial Army. As you may be aware, we recently negotiated the return of said conscripts. Many, alas, will arrive to find no families waiting for them, no homes to grant them shelter. I would ask that you offer them a place in the Confederacy. You would not be rescuing strangers, but welcoming brothers and sisters into your ranks. And has not the Confederacy been in need of new recruits? You seem well informed of our affairs, Lord Kian. The losses we suffered at the Garleans' hands are no secret, but since we drove them out of Doma, the Ruby Sea has come alive with traders and travelers. So many vessels to tax, so few pirates to tax them. We could do with some more hands on deck, and doubly so if they're familiar with the inner workings of the Empire. Very well. The Confederacy agrees to your request. You will have your ship. But before that, you must do something for me. The vessel I have in mind was damaged during your battle with the Empire. Though we may have mended her, she's yet to be declared seaworthy. She's sound enough down below, but when you load her up with conscripts and the waterline rises, those upper planks had best be free of cracks. Assuming you want your people to stay dry, you'll do me the favor of swimming around the hull to check for weaknesses. That is, if Doman lords are not averse to getting their robes wet. Not this Doman lord. If we each inspect a third of the ship, it should be done in a trice. That's the spirit. The ship is moored at the Quick Escape Pier. Our apprentice shipwright will be on deck to hear your report. Look for the lad named Ihanashi. I thought I had a knack for parlaying with pirates. For the record, my previous attempt was an unmitigated success, and yes, I should have quit while I was ahead. Well. I thought the rumors exaggerated, but the young lord lives up to his reputation. Okay. Oh, other way. Really? Suspect plank. No signs of damage here. So they had a rule. You need to have some way of showing that, hey, we can swim now on every part of this adventure. Upon closer inspection, you spot a small crack in one of the planks. Okay. Hi, I'm the shipwright, or apprentice shipwright. Did you find anything that might need attention? The section I inspected seems solid enough. On the port side near the bow, you say? Alright, I'll have a look and see what I can do. My apologies, I seem to have lagged behind. I could float in the gentle sea all day. Otherwise, I'm happy to report no visible cracking or holes in the section of the hull. Your lord here. The captain sent you to inspect the hull? God may have mercy, forgive us this discourtesy, my lord. It's just quite alright. In fact, I rather enjoyed it. I take it you were of Doma. Yes, my lord. The Imperials took away my father after the uprising. I had nowhere else to turn. The Confederacy became my family. But someone told me they're releasing the conscripts now. Maybe my father will be among them. Not that I can go back. There's no leaving once you've joined. How fares our lady? Is she seaworthy? Captain, we found a small crack on the port side. But I'll have it fixed before you know it. I can see you've met the boy. Did he tell you his story? He babbles when he's nervous. Should his father be among the conscript as he hopes, I mean to give him the choice to leave this life. If he so chooses, I expect you to see they are provided for. I have heard that those who join the Confederacy forswear all ties with kin and homeland. Is that oath so easily put aside? If I allow it. I see in him the lad I was 25 years ago. You say the words, you mean them. But the yearning for home still lingers. My family is long dead, and I know this life is my lot, but he has scarce dipped his toes in with us. If there's a life for him in Doma, he should have the chance to live it. Well said. The Empire's conquest has uprooted many and more, be it in Yangsha or out in the Ruby Sea. We have a duty to ensure that Inahashi and others like him are free to dwell where they desire. Then the matter's settled. I'll make preparations to cast off. Well, my friends, it seems we have our ship. Let's return to the Enclave. Lord Hien is expecting you. May I show you in? Wait one sec, guys. Alright. It seems Yugiri and Alphino completed their tasks before us. They've been waiting. We scouted the structure and determined the swiftest path to safety. In the event of hostilities, we will lead the conscripts outside all the way with all possible haste. From there, the Confederacy is pledged a ship to ferry us across the One River. Now we have but to attend the exchange. And pray to the Kami these precautions were unnecessary. I get the feeling they were very necessary. What's next? The primary agreement. While we were putting our contingency plans in place, I left Hakuro in charge of organizing transport with for the Imperial prisoners. He will see their arrive at the appointed hour, leaving us free to rendezvous with our Confederate allies. Come. They await us on the riverbank not far from the castrum. Wonder when you'll be able to make a Reaper. I guess you have to wait for the expansion to actually come out. Are they gonna start at level 70? Like, yeah. Start at 70 is what I would assume. In 11, the Dark Knight uses great swords and scythes. That's cool. And it kind of looks like a collector ship from Mass Effect 2. A little bit. No, not this part, but like the rocky part with the rings around it. Your party's assembled then. Aye, and ready for what lies ahead, I trust. Lest there be any confusion, though, the tower across the water is to be the scene for the exchange. That and whatever else Asahi has planned. But regardless of the ambassador's intentions, we will bring our people home. Yugiri, you are to evacuate the conscripts at the first sign of trouble. Yes, my lord. We, meanwhile, shall cover their escape and lend what support we can. Your ship awaits you at the castrum's loading docks. She'll see you safely home. Then all stand ready to play their part. Come, let us be about it. Tense. There's no way this is gonna not end in fighting.
At last, the hour has come. The conclusion to these negotiations will mark a new beginning for Dorma and the Empire. A first step on the road to peaceful coexistence.
Indeed. We are ready to proceed with the exchange when you are. Forgive my curiosity, Ambassador, but is there a purpose to these containers you bring with you?
Oh, the supply crates. They are filled with materials we hoped might be of use in Dorma's restoration. I meant to gift them to you at our last meeting, but we had so much else to discuss.
How very generous. I confess I had not expected such compassion, welcome though it is.
Still think they look like coffins.
But then I was also surprised by the news that one of our captives had delivered herself into your custody ahead of time. A minor discrepancy I shall overlook in the spirit of the occasion.
Are you perhaps referring to me, Lord Hien?
Oh God.
Yotsuyu.
Orphan of the Naori, widow of Sashihai, and acting viceroy of Dorma. You and your people are mine to govern, mine to punish.
But we won the war, so.
Well, well. It would seem your shattered mind is mended. As per our agreement with the Ambassador, you are free to return with him to the Empire. Your authority as acting viceroy, however, is no longer recognized here.
My position is not for you to decide, little lordling. All who resist the rule of the Empire must be purged. Such was the order given to me by Lord Xenos himself. I will reign here in this putrid, pestilent swamp until the last of you has been broken. This land shall know no dawn. I will spew forth darkness and drown all in eternal night. And high above you I shall shine, uncaring, cold and distant as the moon.
She was so nice when she was Suyu, but now I'm starting to think she's about to summon a primal. Shit. That's what's in the crates. What is she gonna become? The moon? Some kind of moon goddess?
What has she done?
Oh gods, this is a summoning.
You know, the Empire's supposed to be against primal summoning, right? Like, isn't this like their main thing? Don't do this? Well, I smell a trial in our future. What's she gonna become? The hell?
A Dorman citizen has called forth an icon in direct violation of our primary agreement.
Ah.
The negotiations have failed. Abandon the captives and make preparations to withdraw.
Doman citizen, huh?
But Ambassador!
Disobey me, Pilus, and you disobey the Emperor. Make preparations to withdraw! Now!
As you command.
So that's been his plan. Okay.
My lord, you must fall back!
You ask me to run? Spare my pride, would you? I know this foe is beyond me. The field is yours.
The last thing we need is to have him freaking become a thrall to Yotsuyu.
We will withdraw, but not without our countrymen. I want every soul accounted for. Every soul!
My lord.
Just stay by ourselves. We got this.
I knew you would not flee.
Not giving us the name yet.
I see now the strength which flows from that baleful light of yours. But I am become Tsukuyomi, goddess of the moon,
Tsukuyomi.
and divinity of night. What power can compare to such celestial majesty? I shall plunge all I despise into darkness. And within that black abyss, even your light shall flicker and fail. Come, let us cast the stalks and look upon the fate of Dorma. I see a future in which the sun sets on this wretched land. Once and for all!
Alright, Castrum Fluminous now available. Looks like it's time to queue up for a duty, for a trial? Yeah. Oops. Wait time 13 minutes. Oof. Alright, well. What else can we do while we wait? She's like right there. I'm gonna go wait somewhere else, okay? You just stay there. I'll be back in about 13 minutes. Don't really have much I can do. What's that on? Business concerning the Domans? I see, Lord Hien really needn't have gone to such trouble. But I know all too well how much of our Far Eastern friends would worry themselves over decorum. As for the matter of the refugees' repatriation, I'll not lie. We've come to view them as family, and we'll be sorry to see them go, and any of the other fellow frontier hands especially. So let us do you one better. I shall appeal to their Eorzean comrades and invite them to accompany the Domans on their journey, that they too might aid in the reconstruction of the Enclave. I expect many will jump at the opportunity. A costly thing to send so many, to be sure, but owing to Lord Ian's generosity, we seem to have found ourselves with a surplus of funding. Hard to imagine the toll without Doman refugees. They helped make it what it is today. Wow, what am I saying? This is a happy occasion. Go and tell Hosen the news. I'm sure he'll be overjoyed. Yeah, this guy too. Let's go ahead and knock this out. Nova. Eager to listen to my harp, are you? For what higher praise could a minstrel ask to have his audience than a very hero who provides inspiration for his songs? Yet I have no fresh compositions I deem fit for a champion's ears. Would that I possessed something here more to amuse you. Ah, I've been struck by the most wonderful idea. You shall be the author and the subject of your own creations. Yes, by weaving the epic of your own endeavors, you'll find yourself casting a critical eye upon past deeds. Think of such works as muses for future growth. It's no difficult thing to pen a poem. The words will come of their own accord, I assure you. Simply envision the scene and describe the memories in faithful detail. Omit not and add not, and the truth shall remain. Reciting the finished piece should then serve to bring the past to vivid life in your mind's eye. And when you look back upon events with undistracted clarity, what was hidden in chaos may now seem blindingly clear, especially when things are uncolored by the embellishments I might bring to the story. May the recording of your sagas reward you with inspiration and insight. Oh, do return sometime and share what you've wrought. The duty recorder unlocked. Okay. Cool. How very good to see you, my friend. Though not at all expected. You look as though you have something important to say, do you? I do not know what to say. Return to Doma. Has the day truly come at last? Wait here while I summon the others. This concerns them all. My word. And they are already making arrangements for our return? By the long face, Yuri. This is cause for celebration. It is I. Like all of you, I have dreamed of this day since the moment we left Yangsha. But now that it has arrived, I cannot help but think of those whom we owe so much, Slothborn especially. Indeed. Even if it were possible to leave this very moment, I could not. Not until I thank the people here for everything they've done for us. I remember when we first arrived in this land and learned of its troubles. Though disappointed, I understood why no one would grant us shelter. Who were we? Why risk so much for strangers? But this place and these people were different, and when all others turned us away, Revenant's Toll welcomed us with open arms. I love Doma and Lord Hien with all my heart, and I want nothing more than to return and help rebuild, but I implore you, Hosen, we must first do our utmost to repay their boundless kindness. Never did I intend for us to disappear into the night like thieves and vagabonds. Everything you've said is right and true. All labors we have undertaken will be seen to a measure of completion. That much goes without saying, I'm sure. I'll speak with Slothborn and ensure that we have enough days to prepare for our journey. In the meantime, I would encourage you all to prepare gifts and so forth. Very good, very good. It would not do to leave without saying proper farewells, else we would labor under a cloud of regret. At my age, one appreciates every opportunity to put their affairs in order. After all, I may not weather the journey home, much less another one to yours you. Given your constitution, Father, I should not be surprised if you bury us all. If you have no pressing obligations, Elheim, might I impose upon you to assist us in our final preparations? Since this is all quite sudden, many of our people may require a second opinion on a farewell gift or something else. All I ask is that you make yourself available for any such consultations. Would that be alright? Thank you, my friend. We will look for you near the northern gate. Quickly now, everyone. Let us not keep Elheim waiting. Oh, alright. Odd spaced. Blend. Alright. Halfway through our 13 minutes. No luck with queuing so far that we can see. Is this the place I'm supposed to wait at? Assisting the Doman refugees with their final preparations will take several minutes. You may wish to cancel any pending duty finder registrations. I guess we'll do that later. Okay. We just have a lot of duty finder stuff to do, honestly. Miki-Titadan. Miki-Titadan. I can do this. Miki-Titadan. Mr. Dank. Do we have any new titles lately? The Hots beat. Delta escape the leader. Average still says 13 minutes. We're at 10.5. Okay. 2 minutes to go on the average. The guard here is level 45, seasoned adventurer. What are you looking at? Hey, stop looking at me. Ah, I am like 30 levels above you almost, but just chill. Oh, we got our tanks. Leo Chidori. All these people. Oksana Evera. Artera? Yexedge? I don't know how you pronounce that one. I still like this one. Miki Titadan. Niki. I want to look at this person. Level 44 Paladin, second Serpent Lieutenant. Miki Titadan. Alright, we've hit the average wait time. We have our tanks, we just need healers, man. Look at that fat cat! Oh, sorry, we got a little Omega now. Collectible dealer. Okay. An ugly duckling? Doesn't look that ugly, honestly. Like, where's the ugly part? Average wait time is a lie. We'll still be waiting when Karanova gets back. This is the point where if you're watching it on YouTube, skip ahead. Oop. Genius. Oh, look at this name. Shargath. Oh, I thought the Dark Member is Dark Ember. Shargath Dark Ember. Cool. Balmor Gilded. Darius Godbolt. That's a good name. He's level 80 too. Look at this guy. Nice. Vivi, he had a little like apostrophe in there to get away with that. Are you at least a black mage? Gunbreaker. Vivi the Gunbreaker. Fights for friends. Nice. Lunar Crescent. Einar Masameo. Compass Perineum. Dagarn Hodor. Everybody's going in there, huh? Red Sea. Or Karat Drakus. And I'm so short. Look at this. I come over this guy's belt. I'm so tiny. I'm not even a Lalafell. I need to go find a Lalafell so I can feel tall. Look at this. I'm so short. How about this NPC? Damn it! Here. Oh, thank God. Okay, I'm not short anymore. That's short right there. Good Lord, what must it be like to be like a Lalafell and just walk up to these tall people? To 18 minutes. Rough. Rough, man. Dark Vault, Greg. The ears are cheating, right? Like, you're already tall enough. The red-headed stepchild. Slightly misspelled, I guess, to make it work. Swedson. Bunny Wigglesworth. What are you riding around on? Is that like a bumblebee? Ew. Blue mage, huh? Mango Wisp. I feel like because they make you have a first and last name, you get more interesting names in Final Fantasy XIV. Punished. There's no vowels. Angels? Angels? Legals? Mr. Bentley. Hey, he's a level 80 dancer. Oh my god, 21 minutes. We're never gonna get into this. Clearly I need to be a healer. Palm daughter, impatient son. Ziltwick. I do hate sometimes that like the main story gets like put on like complete hold waiting on an instance. Like my progress is ground to a halt waiting on this thing for over half an hour. That's unfortunate. There it goes. Come on. Please don't make me wait in line again. Alright, let's see if we can figure this guy out without any help from Minus. Miss Moon Goddess. Tsukuyomi. Let's go. Lex Suplex. For the name, you get the buff.
Oh, it's going to be a long night. Whoa!
I can't tell who the red mage is.
Your end is near.
Midnight Haze.
Beg for mercy. Your death will be all the sweeter.
Okay. Now what? Asahi. They're fighting like all of her issues, basically. Ooh. Don't stand on the black or white side too long, though.
In darkness bleeds the
Interesting.
spider lily.
From mortal husk, I rise anew. Diffuse with night, I shall prevail.
Beg them. In moonlight's chill shine petals pale.
Interesting ability.
Beg them.
Diffuse with night, I shall prevail.
Your end is near.
Hmm.
In sunless gloom, black tendrils trail.
Okay.
No, not yet. Not yet. I'll grind you under my heel. Grind you under my heel!
9%. There we go. And done. All right. Damn.
You really must learn to finish the job. 'Tis true that a gaudy mirror and a handful of crystals make for a feeble summoning. But even the weakest icon is a god of sorts. A threat that must be put down. My, such hostility! These beings are the sworn enemies of the Empire. I merely did my duty as an Imperial officer. Will you surrender to anger then? Slay an anointed emissary to avenge a fallen foe?
Ha! You cannot, of course! To do so would burn the bridges we have labored so hard to build.
Oh, but I'm forgetting. They're already ash. This Doorman woman has seen to that. The Empire cannot ally itself with any nation that refuses to renounce summoning. I believe I was most clear on that point. It should have been mine. The power he bestowed upon her. I should have been the one to govern Dorma. I would have repaid his faith.
No one alive loves him more than I!
Instead, this harlot betrayed his trust. Useless piece of filth! Worthless whore!
Thank you, dear brother, for this precious gift. Vengeance. These people, our people, they ignore the corruption which festers beneath the surface. Cast aside that which is dirty and broken. Speak not of things which would disrupt their dreary little lives. Like you, Asahi. Always pretending not to see. You were the first. The first I swore to kill. Such bliss. I had thought my hunger insatiable. But now I am satisfied. You should feel honored, dear brother. I saved the last of my strength, just for you.
Okay then. Oh. Yeah, really well. Huh.
What's the matter? The Witch of Doma will soon be dead.
Yosetsu will warn you.
He will mourn too, perhaps. I wonder, was the fruit as sweet as he remembered?
Lord Xenos. Lord Xenos. I am at your disposal.
Asahi, you were born of Doma, yes?
Yes, my lord. I am honored that you would remember me. How may I serve?
You are hereby appointed Ambassador Plenipotentiary and empowered to speak with the voice of the Emperor. Return to your native land of Doma and announce your intention to sue for peace.
For peace?
Once negotiations are underway, you are to locate the acting Viceroy.
She lives? That is to say, I will, my lord.
When you have found her, you will initiate a ritual to call forth an icon. I will instruct you in the necessary steps. Yotsuyu's faith is unreliable, but as a child raised to believe in the Kami, she will serve as a vessel for one of the Kojin's gods. She need only wish it to be so. The power will seem a gift, but the Icon's essence will consume her. She will be no more than a husk, a slave to whim and desire.
My lord, ever since the day you saw fit to save my miserable life, I have dreamed of repaying your benevolence. Upon my honor, I swear to devote myself wholly to your service. All that you command will be done, no matter the cost. But I fear the subtleties of your plan yet elude me. From the reports I have heard, the champion who aids the Doman resistance would make short work of a single Icon.
The Icon is merely a message. The pacifist teachings of the Populares spread through this city like a plague. And I would remind the people of the threat we face. You will be my chosen agent. The hand which tolls the warning bell.
Your chosen agent. I will not fail you, my lord. My master, Lord Xenos, he will come for you.
You have prevailed, I see.
She is gone. Wherefore did the Kami spare us, only to inflict this pain?
Damn.
Death shall not want for company this day. You spared us a worse disaster, but I fear our fledgling peace with the Empire was beyond saving.
Lord Hien!
Maxima, is it not? I assumed you long fled.
I entertain thoughts of escape even now. But our negotiations have yet to reach a satisfying conclusion. The ambassador insisted that the summoning spelled an end to our mission here. But it seemed to me there was more to the tale.
Aha!
I have heard tell of this power you wield. And in your vision, you witnessed Lord Xenos giving these orders.
But how can that be? Xenos is dead. He took his own life after the battle in Alamigo.
Clearly not.
I saw his body with my own eyes.
Forgive me, but Lord Xenos is very much alive. He granted our party an audience prior to our departure. That he was gravely wounded is certain, but his recovery appeared to be proceeding apace.
I'm afraid I share Lord Hien's confusion. The man's death was confirmed and his remains interred. These are matters of public record.
Is it a clone?
I have no doubt you believe what you say. But what then is the explanation? That an imposter has infiltrated the innermost circle of the Imperial Court? The idea is inconceivable, absurd, but worthy of investigation nonetheless. Our movement can ill afford to have a highly placed pretender undermining our efforts.
I mean, he seems to still be like Xenos, but it could also be that, like, Ossian is somehow infiltrated as Xenos. That would be horrible.
Your efforts may yet bear fruit. Tell me, what is to become of our prisoner exchange? Though we have already taken custody of our conscripts, we have yet to release your Imperial comrades. Do you still intend to collect them?
Yes. As the late Ambassador's second in command, it falls to me to speak on the Empire's behalf. And I'm happy to confirm our intent to proceed according to the original agreement.
Then let us be about it. 'Twould be a pity to abandon such a promising beginning.
Indeed. You have my thanks, Lord Hien. As soon as our people are secure aboard our airship, we shall depart straightways for Garlemald.
Tread lightly, Pilus. I sense treachery awaits you there.
Might I accompany you to the capital?
Alphino, have you gone mad?
Imposter or no, if Xenos was instructing Asahi on the finer points of ritual summoning, then experience tells us there is an Ascian waiting in the wings. Without our knowledge and expertise, our new friends will be hard-pressed to contend with a foe for whom death is but a minor inconvenience. They need our help.
Were you indeed willing to share your knowledge of this enemy, we would not shun your counsel.
You truly mean to do this? In full knowledge of the danger?
I have seen the Warrior of Light risk her life on countless occasions. Next to her, I'm scarce more than a distraction on the battlefield. But in the meeting room or the audience chamber, there I can make a difference. I can strike bargains, forge ties, and change minds. And where better to do these things than in the home of our old enemy?
I believe in you, Alphino.
Tis not for me to stop you, but I would have you consider an alternative arrangement. Rather than braving the Empire as a simple traveler, go forth as an emissary of Doma. Such a position should offer you some measure of protection.
Go then. You've obviously made up your mind. Just try not to do anything reckless, all right?
I shall be on my best behavior. Farewell, my friends.
Okay. I knew Asahi was planning some manner of treachery, but a summoning? Thank the kami you were here, my friend. None of us would have escaped Yotsu's vengeance had you not intervened. She was a pawn, but still she had a choice. She chose to submit the ambassador's plan. To his little wonder, Gosetsu departed in silence. I gather he left the same way he came, alone aboard a rowing boat. As for the conscripts, most made it to the Sekibune and before the battle began in earnest. But the vessel yet waits on the riverbank for those who did not flee in time. Then I suggest we put this doleful place behind us and make for the Enclave together. It would be a shame to miss the joyous reunion.
How often have I imagined this moment? Thank you for helping it come to pass.
All right.
Ah, there you are.
Gosetsu, your hair.
Yeah, your hair, dude.
My friend, what have you done?
An old man who cannot raise his blade has no place in the service of a young lord. Thus did I decide to devote my remaining days to pilgrimage. I will walk this land, offering prayers of repose for all the souls who left this life in suffering.
All of them?
Safe travels, Gosetsu.
A fulsome farewell makes for an enjoyable journey.
Scarcely have we said our goodbyes to Alphino, and you leave us too. But 'tis well that my companions find their own way forward. I must endeavor to do the same.
I have faith that you will find the best path for Dorma without me, my lord. Pray forgive me this last act of selfishness, and grant me your blessing.
You have earned it 1,000 times over. Go in peace, my friend. I shall make of Dorma a land where children laugh, and none need live in fear.
There is no better way to honor those who went before. And with that, I take my leave.
Gosetsu, fair journey to you, my friend. A bittersweet occasion, but there is yet ample cause to be grateful. Pray, join us in Kinkan. I would thank you properly. Our brothers and sisters are returned to us, and the dream of Doma's restoration is that much closer to being realized. It is a day that will live long in memory, one that would never have dawned without the courageous actions of the Scions. On behalf of Doma and her people, we give you our deepest thanks. Lest you think me complacent, I assure you I have not forgotten the dark cloud on the horizon. That Xenos lives is a source of grave concern, mayhap the gravest. Yet there is little to be done but wait for Alpha to send word. Until then, I plan to devote myself to fulfilling the promise I made to Gosetsu, by building a nation in which none need live in fear. I confess I miss him already, but the thought that he has at last found peace goes some way to softening the blow. I wonder, did you ever stop to ask yourself why he showed Yotsuyu such kindness? I believe the answer lies in past tragedy, specifically the death of his wife and daughter during the invasion. Though he hid it well, they were never far from his thoughts. And Yotsuyu's childlike mien, I believe he saw not a fallen tyrant, but a little girl who was lost to him. After the loss of his family, Gosetsu devoted himself wholly to the service of his country. He suffered any hardship, strove beyond the limits of endurance, and without hesitation or complaint. Though Tsuyu could never truly replace his daughter, I had hoped that with her at his side, he might live out the remainder of his days in relative contentment. Would that the kami had been so minded. Even now I labor to discern any meaning in Yotsuyu's fate. To deliver her from certain death with no memory of her sins, only to leave her at the mercy of her stepbrother. Can that truly have been their will? This I cannot tell you. The will of the kami is not for us to know. But what I do know is, for a brief moment, a girl known as Tsuyu lived among us. And she brought with her a whisper of respite for a grieving heart. I think it's time we were going, don't you? We've done all we can here, and we have a lot to report. But before we head back to the Rising Stones, let's call in at Rogger's Reach. We should be the ones to tell Lise about Xenos. After everything we went through together, we owe her that at least. Elheim, Alize, you're back. No, Alphino? It's good to see you, Lise. As for my headstrong brother, he's off on what will almost certainly turn out to be a once-in-a-lifetime trip to Gilded. It's a long story, but we have evidence that Xenos might still be alive. What? But that's... If this is a joke, gods, this had better be a joke. Look, I know what I saw, right? We all saw it. And here you're saying he's alive and well and living a high life back in Gilded? I know how ludicrous this sounds. I'm still having difficulty believing it myself, but while I might doubt the word of an Imperial envoy, I'm inclined to trust Elheim. She saw the Crown Prince through the Echo, in a meeting that could only have taken place in the recent past. Xenos is alive. It must have been, I don't know, some kind of really convincing imposter. Xenos is dead. He had a great big hole in his neck. We buried him. Aye, and someone went to the trouble of desecrating the bastard's grave, remember? Halls, Gilded. Halls, what are you talking about? Tancred, what brings you to the Reach? Alphino is lending me a hand at the Saltery, keeping an eye on rebuilding work and so on. Just until the operations are up and running, and now that they are, I thought I might look in on you before wending my weary way back to headquarters. Forgive me if I misheard, but is there some suggestion the late Crown Prince could have gotten better? If so, might I suggest a quick look inside his coffin as our first order of business? Ugh. As much as I hated the man, it doesn't feel right defiling his grave, but if it'll put this rumor to rest, I suppose we have to. And when there are no curious eyes about, if we can manage it. Xenos is buried up at Bloodhowl in the locks. His grave was set apart from the others and left unmarked, so as not to upset the locals. Then it shouldn't be too hard to find. Nago, you're in charge until I get back. Oh boy. Is it really Xenos? They have a way to bring someone back to life? I mean, I know we have resurrection magic, but still. In Final Fantasy, there's generally resurrection, but not resurrection, you know? This is it. Gods, he'd better be in there. Someone scrawled all over the stone a while ago, but I had it scrubbed off and thought no more about it. So no one thought to check if the coffin was still occupied. Well then, we were presented with but one course of action. And we had best be sure we are not observed doing it. Shall we begin?
Oh dear. We seem to be missing a corpse.
Shit.
Well, it must be somewhere. I only hope it isn't walking around.
Who's watching? Huh. If there's no corpse, then are we to conclude the rumors are true? Not necessarily. We might still be dealing with a doppelganger of some kind. An agent could have been sent to dispose of the body in a bid to lend credence to the tale of Xenos' resurrection. More and more, however, I find myself siding with Alphino's theory of Ascian possession. Speaking from experience, I can tell you they have no qualms about taking a living host, let alone a dead one. You're saying an Ascian is walking around in Xenos' body? It seems a distinct possibility. Once I have put this grave back the way we found it, I shall pay a visit to the people responsible for interring the Crown Prince. Before leaping to any conclusions, I want to know for sure a body was ever buried here, and how certain we are that Xenos was properly dead. If he wasn't, that was some trick. He as good as cut his own head off. Anyway, Rabban needs to hear about this. If you find anything out, send word to me at Rauger's Reach. I don't know why I'm surprised. With matters settling down in Doma, we were due another crisis. Should we make for the Rising Stones then? It's past time we shared these developments with the others. Huh. While I was waiting for you to arrive, I spoke with Orion J over Link Pearl and gave him a full report. Stolla's on her way and should be here any... Alize, Elheim, it is good to see you safe and well. What news have you from the east? Disturbing developments indeed. Given all that we know, I too would conclude that an Ascian now inhabits Xenos' body. A doppelganger might fool the Crown Prince's subordinates, but Elheim, nay, Alphino had the right of it. Would that his wisdom extended to the question of his own safety. Capable though he has become, he ventures alone into enemy's stronghold, and the shadowy web of the Paragons like it is not. When it comes to making rash decisions, I'm hardly in a position to criticize, but I'm worried. I just wish there was something I could do for him besides pray. Meanwhile, in the Imperial Palace. We cannot suffer icons to exist. Was I not clear on this point? More than clear. The icon in question was summarily dispatched by the Warrior of Light. The summoner is dead and the rite beyond repeating. Everything proceeded according to plan, every party behaving exactly as required. Welcome back, Kernova. My methods may seem extreme, but there is no cause for concern. I work only to ensure the salvation of this star. What are you doing fiddling with that thing? I asked you a question, soldier. What are you? Have you lost your mind? Okay. I've lost many things, but my mind is yet my own. There upon the stage I stood, prepared to take my final bow, only to find that the finale was but an intermission. Hey, Gilded Zed, welcome back. Shall I use this chance to repent for my sins, embrace goodness and mediocrity? Nay, I think not. While the one I yearn to face yet lives, the hunt must go on. Interesting. Under the moonlight. The ponder emote. It's been an eventful few days, hasn't it? But I suppose all we can do now is wait for word from Alphinaud. I don't recall the last time I had nothing pressing to be getting on with. We should probably make the most of it. Shall I put on some tea? Tea would be lovely. You may regale me with the tale of your adventures in the Far East and your encounter with the new Primal especially. You guys there, Gilded Zed? I'll put a kettle on. That table looks free. If you'd like to take a seat? I think this is the last quest in this patch. Upon sitting at the table, several cutscenes will play in sequence. It's recommended you set aside sufficient time to view them. Alright, let's go. End of patch 5, was it 4.3? Interesting. So this Tsukiyomi was summoned in much the same manner as Susanoo, via the medium of a sacred relic. That's right, they believe their gods or kami reside in physical objects. Given the danger they represent, it may behoove us to begin a catalog of such relics. But if we are to contain the threat, it will require a better understanding of the summoning method itself. I believe I shall pay a visit to Doma and learn what I can on the subject. A fine idea, and I know for a fact that our friends in Doma would be grateful for any information which could help prevent a further summoning in the region. I'll pin you a letter of introduction. Lord Hien will wish to welcome our resident expert on aetherology. Our resident expert, yeah. Greetings. Could it be that I'm in time for tea? It certainly looks that way. Come on, sit down and tell us how your investigation went. I think once we get done with these cutscenes, we're going to play some Grand Theft Auto. After you left, I went about questioning Bloodhowl's gravekeepers. They all told me much the same story. Once Lisa and her officers had confirmed Xenos is dead, his corpse was interred upon strict supervision. There seems little reason to doubt the testimony on that point. But when I mentioned the defacement of Xenos' graves, accounts grew rather more vague. None reported having seen any suspicious persons in the vicinity, and all assumed the act to have been perpetrated by a vengeful Alamegan. Crucially, however, I was able to confirm that when the offending scrawl was removed, as per Lisa's instruction, no one involved thought to check the contents of the coffin. By that stage, 'tis like the corpse was already missing. Assuming Xenos has not, in fact, risen from the dead, we are left with two possibilities. Either the body was disposed of to lend credence to the claims of an extremely committed impostor, or an Asian has taken up residence within it. If Asahi was as fervent as a devotee as you believe, he would not have been fooled by an impersonation, however committed. We must assume that we are dealing with an Asian and proceed accordingly. Agreed. The question is, how many more such monsters are waiting for Alphino and Garlemald? Their presence was his chief reason for going. He understood the risks. I only hope he did not underestimate the extent of the infestation. Okay. Meanwhile, at the Imperial Hypersonic Assault Craft XIV. Master Alphino, we are making good speed towards our destination as Autumnis. Nay. 'Tis just, I can see naught from my cabin, and was curious to know the land over which we flew. I'm afraid our military craft are built with little thought for such niceties. I'm happy to indulge your curiosity, however. We are presently passing over the burn on the western edge of Authard. Even with the benefit of a porthole, your gaze would have been greeted with naught but malms upon malms of lifeless earth. I've read something of the burn. It was described as a desolate wasteland, blood dry of every last drop of aether. Aye, it is believed that a succession of icon summonings was responsible. When Emperor Solus first came to Authard and beheld this blight, he said to have reeled at the scale of the devastation. He declared icons a threat to our very star's existence and issued an empire-wide decree ordering the eradication of all such entities. Report! Under attack, sir. Magitech armor. No visible designation. Magitech? But who? All cannons return fire. Damage report. The main reactor's been hit. Helm unresponsive. We're going down, sir. Damn it, they knew exactly where to hit us. All hands, brace for impact. Glad to have you back, Master Alphino. We landed in one piece, more or less. But the air filtration system is damaged and the ship is filling with smoke. We must gather the survivors and get out while we still can. Aye, aye. Hey? Oh, we're playing Alphino. Ruin, Physic, Tri-Shackle, Starstorm. Okay. Search for survivors, huh? Wow, so this is the burn? Holy crap. You can't search for survivors by the wreck. There's someone under the wreckage? Indeed. I don't think I would have made it. And she very likely saved his life. The question is who would try and take it remains, however. Alright. The prince wants none left alive. That's so our imposter Xenos is trying to have us killed. I'm assuming it's an imposter at this point. Interesting that they're having us play Alpha now. Oh, hello. I think I might need some rescuing. Thankfully, bad guys are horrible shots. Found it. Not here. Not like this. Who's that? Who in the Emperor's name? Enemies of our enemies. Introductions can wait. You are calm in a crisis, Master Alphino. Let's finish this then. Okay. Okay. Maybe just spam ruin more or less. Damn. Things have a lot of hit points. Interesting to see who this menacing mercenary is. That it? Yep. My thanks. Your intervention proved most timely. Oh well, I did not think to meet an Eorzean in this place, let alone a Scion. You know of me, sir. I have some small history with your order. But I would speak of the present. Know your assailants, the severity of your predicament. Soldiers bore the insignia of the Emperor's personal guard, and I could venture a guess as to their motive, but you yet have us at a disadvantage, sir. Will you not tell us who you are? Our names are not yours for the asking, and as for our purpose, let this be your answer. An Ascian mask. The face of our prey. We must away before more arrive. Come with us or stay, but make your choices now. Even should we manage the long trek out of the burn and secure passage to the capital, we would no doubt be greeted by the Emperor's guard. Indeed, we accept your gracious offer. Shadow Hunter will suffice for the present. Come. Well, we're getting to like lead up to Shadowbringers, I think. That's good stuff. Are we gonna be hunting Ascians in Empire territory? Oh, look at this! Got a lot of masks. Man, is the Empire infested with Ascians? Interesting. Hey, Flaps. This guy won't tell us who he is. Ugh, this is intolerable. But as much as I wish it or otherwise, there's nothing we can do for Alphino now but pray for his success. Well, that is not entirely true. While your brother journeys for the Gardermold from the east, I could make my way there from Alamigo and find out what there is to be learned of the Empire's western provinces. I'm coming with you. I can't very well sit here sipping tea if there's action to be taken. Forgive me, Alize, but the provinces are hostile territory and stealth is all important. It's safer that I go alone. I can sneak well enough when the situation demands it. Don't patronize me. I'll go with him. He's not gonna let me. And how exactly would that be any better? I must refuse your company as well, my friend. Formidable though you are, the success of my mission depends on moving unnoticed. Unless you forget, you have grown rather famous. I trust you understand. Fine, just promise you'll be careful. Okay. It seems that praying is to be the extent of my contribution after all, but I will stay behind as I have been bid. We all have our talents. Mine just happened to involve a silver tongue and soft souls. I promised to send word the moment I learn aught of consequence. Say that you notify me too. I mean to depart for Doma as soon as I find a suitable East Aldenard vessel to bear me thither. But I shall return if I am needed. Be sure to drop in whenever you're next in the area, Elheim. With any luck, I'll have painfully detailed reports from Alphino to share. That's 4.3 done. And I've learned how to ponder. Woot!